we have your attention, please? Welcome to the November 28th zoning board meeting 2017. My name is Marty Akins. I'm the chairman. To my left, your right, the vice chair, Mr. Cabeas, Mr. Chin, Mr. Frankel, Mr. Himmel, Mr. Radell. Behind us, the head of inspectional services, Mr. Duca. To my right, your left, the clerk, Ms. Murphy. If you have a cell phone or a pager, could you please put it on vibrate or silent so you don't interrupt the meeting with any buzzing, well, buzzing's fine, but no phone calls. If anyone wants to talk, please step outside. It's hard enough to hear here as it is. If anyone's going to testify tonight, could you please stand up and raise your right hand? If you think you might testify tonight, if you think. So only 4 people are going to testify, 6? There you go, there you go. If anyone's going to speak tonight, please raise your right hand. Mr. Bass.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
I have
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to waive the reading of the minutes of the meeting of November 14th.
Second.
on the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. I have some requests here, and we have requests. C Street. It's Louis Cafe. They want to continue to February 15th. Have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, matter number 16-086, C Street, Quincy, LLC, Robert Garrigan, manager, for a variance finding to amend the decision previously issued in CBA case number 4302 and case number 08-015, which require the lots to remain in common ownership on the premises number 1269 C Street. Make a motion to continue the hearing to February 13th.
Second.
And seconded on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We asked for these plans on Interville Street. Is there anyone here for Interville Street? All right. We're supposed to have those plans here before today, and I haven't got them yet, and I don't think anyone on the board got them today. So we're going to continue those, both of those Intervilles, 126 and 90, December 12th.
Mr. Chairman, matter number Z17-48, done vote for a variance to construct a 2-family home on a vacant lot on premises number 126, Intervale Street, Quincy, and make a motion to continue the hearing to December 12th.
Second. On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Mr. Chairman, matter number Z17-49, Dan Heat, for a variance to subdivide the existing lot and construct a new 2-family on a newly created lot with premises number 90 Intervale Street. Make a motion to continue the hearing to December 12th.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Case number Z1792. I have a letter here to continue to January 9th.
Mr. Chairman, matter Z17-92, 83 Dysart Street, LLC, for a variance finding to demolish the existing barn and subdivide the parcel into 2 parcels and construct a single-family home in the newly created lot with premises number 83 Dartford Street. Make a motion to continue the hearing to January 9th.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Case number Z1795.
Mr. Chairman, Z-17-95, Gorham Fire Appliance for a variance finding to demolish an existing 2-family house and construct a new 2-family addition and expand parking lot on the existing business on the premises number 288, 292 Willard Street, and make a motion to continue the hearing to December 12th.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Z1797, Spring Street. I have a letter here for December 12th.
Mr. Chairman, Z17-97, Lin Jun Chan.
Yeah, that's right. There's no letter. I didn't get a set of plans. So they were brought Wednesday afternoon. They couldn't go out till Monday. No one here has a set of plans, so we're going to wait 2 weeks.
to construct this new single-family home on an existing lot on the parcel number 54-56 Spring Street. Make a motion to continue the hearing to December 12th.
Second.
On motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Back to old business, case number Z 1790. Winnie Sun Kwong Wong for variance finding. Is anyone here for those cases? They're not going to be heard until those dates. Did everyone get that?
No, wasn't.
What
What's case?
case are you here for?
The one that's before you. Ms. Swan, President.
Oh, no, that's being heard right now.
Okay.
For a variance for the setback requirements for off-street parking will not result in substantial detriment to the neighborhood, number 240 President's Lane. Council, you have the floor.
Good evening, happy holidays, everybody. Mr. Chairman, on the members for the record, my name is Attorney Jack Pimogo, on behalf of the applicant. As you may recall, we were here approximately a month ago. At that time, we had presented a engineering site plan that I believe showed 5 proposed parking stalls in the front of the property. There was extensive discussion in regards to this, and I believe the board made clear that they weren't in favor of it, and was continued until this evening to see if we could come up with an alternative. When we were here previously, Steve DeRoche was here, because the engineer that actually created the plan, Mr. Rosenberg, was not here. I've spoken to both Mr. DeRoche and Mr. Rosengrave, and they come to the same conclusion, which is that in the rear of the property, there really isn't anything that can be done to create additional parking stalls. As you can see, we presented several weeks ago a revised plan which shows 2 parking stalls in the front of the property. And we would suggest that that would provide some relief in regards to the complaints that ISD had received previously in regards to tenants that were living in the property either parking on the lawn or parking on the street. I would also tell you that since the previous hearing, we have circulated a petition, and there were 22 people who have signed the petition. They all live on President's Lane. I'd like to submit that if I could. You'll see some of the addresses are 195 Thomas Bergen Parkway. The rear of Thomas Bergen Parkway is 210 President's Lane. As the board is aware, it's a legal 3-family. It's an investment property, and there are tenants that are living in the property. So obviously, you know, parking is an issue. It's an issue that's not going to go away. What I think I heard the chairman say last time we were here, and the board say last time we were here, clearly we didn't want 5 spaces in the front of the property, which is understood. But not to do anything at all, obviously that's a problem as well, because then the existing problem is going to continue. So as a compromise, this is what we're proposing. We feel that it's reasonable under the circumstances. And this is what we're asking the board to look in favor of this evening.
Here's my question. Why is that garage still there? I mean, there's 2 parking spaces down there that no one uses the garage to park in. And a guy parks in the corner and a guy parks in front of the garage, so you can't even get the 3rd car up there. If that garage wasn't there, you could put at least 3 cars there.
Well, I think you can put 3 cars there now. I think I've spoken to Mr. Rosengrave and Mr. DeRoche. If the garage was demolished, I think the question is whether or not you could put any additional cars there.
But
My understanding, the answer to that is no.
But you can't get a car, if that garage isn't there, you can put 3 cars down the end. You can't now. You can put 1 here so he can get out. So you only got 2 spots down there, and you tend to parking anyway. But without the garage, you get 3. Because no one's using the garage.
It's my understanding that right now there are 3 cars parking on that side. I mean, certainly I can talk to my client about demolishing it.
If you look at Barbara's photos, this is exactly the way it is. It's like that and like that. And you see, when that car's gotta come out, when he's gotta come out of here, he can't park in front of the garage. He'll park over here. So you really got two spots there without moving the car. Because you can't get the other car back through here, because the car's right here. You have a car right here, he can't get out. So the only place you got a car is really right here. You get two spots now. You have at least three there. And you know what? And the board might look at it in favor of this if the garage is down. So you're getting three there, two there, so you get 5 cars at least. And then you get tandem parking if someone's gonna, if the right people are in this. Like whoever's got the biggest unit here, and then you could have 1 car each. And then you'd all be off street. I mean, it's working it out with the tenants and getting the cars off the street. So if that garage goes, you have space with a brick driveway or a paved driveway on the left.
The only thing is the garage is 242 presently. The 240, that's the parking that's garage. They have to back out the whole car. They have to talk to the other tenants.
Right now, if you got a car here in the garage, you can't go out. This guy can't go out.
So like if a tenant A, they want to.
You get 2 spaces.
But then they have to tell the taxi or they have to go to the garage.
But these right, rip it down.
Mr. Himmel heard this before, so maybe Mr. Himmel's heard this case before. He said it.
Good.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, everybody. Great, counsel.
I apologize.
No,
I'm
that's
talking to my client, see if we could agree
Okay.
as part of.
Want to wait a few minutes?
I don't think
You want to talk it over, and I'll get back to you right after the next case?
Is that okay?
No, he said he wants to keep the garage because he's saying that because then this tenant, it would be an annoyance because every single time if a tenant A wanted to take out a car, they would have to talk to the other tenants.
No, you have 3 spaces back there. And you can all get out. If that garage is in there, you get 3 spaces in the back and you can all get out.
Okay, let me talk to you.
Oh, we take a break.
Yeah, okay,
I
take a
appreciate
break,
that.
see what you can
See
do,
what-
and
yeah,
then we'll come
that's
back.
fine.
All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll continue that case and we'll come back to it. Under new business, case number C-17-100. Mary Ann Smith for a finding to change the use of occupancy to a church assembly, the use 87 Newbury Street. The applicant or representative here. Newbury Ave, correct?
Yes.
Good evening.
Name and address for the records, please.
87 Newbury Ave.
Name,
Quincy.
name.
Oh, all right.
That's why you gotta speak up.
Mary Ann
Right.
Smith,
Marion Smith, Louis Carvalho.
Mary Ann, where do you live?
and in East Boston,
Address?
293 Sumner Street.
Okay, and why are you here?
I'm here because I own a building at 87 to 91 Newbury Ave,
Mm-hmm.
which I bought in 1983, and I found a tenant who has a church.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that it was a different zoning,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like the church to be able to stay
And how long has it been there?
all year.
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
The church, you said it's been there a year without getting changed? Piece of property, you found that out, I guess?
Yeah, that's Newbury.
Yeah, you
Yep.
found out what happened?
We weren't aware of the church being there.
And then someone found out?
Yeah, that's why you're here today, you're
There
trying
was
to
a
get a permit.
shooting in the area, I guess, and the police were driving by and they saw it was open,
Yeah.
and they questioned it, and I didn't realize it was an issue. So we'd like to change the use so they can stay.
And where's your parking for all the people
Well,
that are going?
they were parking on the street, but I've made it so they can use the parking lot, there's nobody.
What was that building used for before?
Well, when I bought it, it was a health club, and before that, it was a talent studio. It was a furniture refinishing place. It was a copier repair place. It was a recording studio. It was.
I mean, those kind of things don't take a lot of parking. At church, you need a
Well,
lot
the
of
health
parking.
club did, I guess.
Well, that's probably why it didn't last, because people didn't have a place to park, so they stopped going.
Yes, sir, if I may,
Yep.
because the issue with the parking came up, we have made a decision to split the meeting times, in 2 groups, to lessen the burden of parking in the streets. Won't be in the morning and then one in the evening as we do now.
So when is the church open and what are the days of use?
Saturdays, sir.
Just Saturday?
Yes, sir.
1 day a week?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sometimes we might have a meeting on a Wednesday, but not as many people.
Yes.
How many persons? When the police went by there, wasn't it late at night? There were
It
folks
was
in there?
at night, yeah, the
12
church,
o'clock?
the church meets, they usually were meeting
meet-
around 8 o'clock.
Between 6 to 10, yes, sir.
Yeah, and then they were cleaning up and, there were just a few people left.
Well, I guess it just goes to the chairman's question of what days are you there? So you're
It
there
was
at night,
Saturday
some
night.
nights too.
It was Saturday night.
How many persons are there? How many persons are there?
Question?
How many members of the church?
43 seats? Said it would be 43 seats.
Yeah, that's how many people.
And if they split it, there will only be 20 or 30. And there is enough parking in the back for, I think, 8 cars.
That's what I mean, 8 cars, could have like 16 people?
Well, they said they figured 4 people to a
Oh,
car.
yes.
Well, that sounds good, but it
But
don't.
they have children, I mean, it's not all adults.
Your submission says that you meet approximately twice a week in the evenings. Is that true, or is it just?
Well, we meet Saturdays, and then there's every other week or so, we meet on a Wednesday.
Did you have this church somewhere else before?
In somebody's basement.
Huh?
Somebody's basement.
Okay.
But if they do split the meeting on Saturday, there'll only be half and a half.
Yeah, until you get a lot of more parishioners and then all of
But
a
they
sudden it's
can't
just.
get too many more, because it's only zoned for like, it can't be 50 people because the building doesn't have a sprinkler.
And if that was the
Yeah.
case, we'll probably spread it out throughout the week instead of all in
What's
one
the,
day.
what is that, sprinkler, 50 people on it?
Generally 50 people, it doesn't trigger sprinkles.
And we really want to work with the neighbors. I didn't realize there were any complaints before.
That's what I was gonna ask. Are there any complaints on record about parking or times or
We had
anything last
never,
year?
we had never received any complaints up until the time police let us know about the police action.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was there
Yeah.
when I found out, right.
I mean,
So,
it's a family thing. They have their church meeting and then they have, they usually have.
what are the hours of operation you want to be open from? So, it'll be on record.
It would be, if we split it, like we're proposing, it will be on Saturdays, from 12 to 10.
12 at noon?
Yes, sir, as one group comes in, then they leave, and then the next group will come in.
Until 10 o'clock at night.
It's not usually that long, but what we clean and things like that, that's
Yeah.
it, it takes longer.
Well, what time do the parishioners there till?
Second,
12 to what? What do they do, the first group?
we go to the class and some Bible teachings.
I mean, hours.
Hours? About 2.5 hours.
So like 12 to 3 they're there, roughly?
Yes, sir.
And then the second group comes in at what, 6 to 9?
About 5:30 or so, yes, sir.
5:30, so it'll be 9, 8. It's like, can you keep those hours at 8 o'clock? So there's, people come home, there's, someone is parking the street, they'll be out of there?
Yeah, I'm sure that can be done.
Any other questions?
I have none at this time.
It's just one day a week on Wednesday nights. What's Wednesday nights?
We do it like a,
Twice a month?
yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'll just add, the planning department waived any site plan review for this project.
Okay. Twice a month, and what are those hours?
6 to 9.
Twice a month. All right, any questions from the board? No? Thank you. You can have a seat. Is there anyone that wants to speak in favor? First call, second call. Third call closed. A letter here from the DPW dated November 8th, 2017, 87 Newbury Street, case number Z17100. Provided plan showing the dimensions of paving area. Will there be any modifications to the driveway entrance? If there's anything further, please advise. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? First call, second call, third call, closed. I mean, it's only gonna be open 2 days a week, and Saturday's not that day. Just Wednesday, 9 o'clock, they get out of there. They split their groups, it won't be a mad scene there for sure. It seems like they started in the basement, it's probably like 10 families or something that's involved.
Mr. Chairman, I see here on their submission
Yeah.
that they have 11 spots if they have stacked parking, but 8 if they're not blocked in.
Yeah, they can stack pockets, they're all gonna be there, right?
They're all gonna be there around the same time, they're all gonna leave around the same time, and they all know each other.
Right, right, right.
So I think that we maybe want to say there has to be 11 spots.
Stack parking, all right, you put that down, 11 spots, stack parking. Anything else?
I think the absence of complaints,
Exactly.
it all speaks loudly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
They've been there for a year and we haven't heard anything, so.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Any other comments?
I'm in favor.
Motion, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, in matter number Z17100, variance Smith for a finding to change the use of the church to church assembly use on the premises number 87 Newbury Avenue. I make a motion to grant the finding with the stipulation that the 11 parking spots will be stacked parking. There'll be 11 spots, just 11 spots.
11 spots, stack parking. So second?
Second.
No,
I don't want
It's in the testimony.
yeah, that they leave it. You have to. Second?
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Set.
You're all set?
Okay.
Thank you.
Excuse me, when would it be effective?
20 days after signing, probably January 20th.
Mary Ann, I'll send you a postcard in the mail, I'll tell you the date.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
January
Around there.
15th. They're not back yet, huh?
We're back.
Up there.
Oh. I thought you were outside.
I've talked to my clients, and they are not willing to knock down the existing garage. And the reasoning is that on that side of the house, it's one family, it's one unit, and as I previously stated, there are already 3 cars parking on that side. So if they go ahead and demolish the garage, it's not going to add or detract from the number of people that are parking on that side. So that's the reason.
So what unit
I've
has
been
that?
told.
242 President's Lane.
Huh?
242 President's Lane.
242. How many bedrooms is in that?
3 bedrooms.
And what are the other bedrooms in the other ones?
I think there are 2 bedrooms on each one. Let me ask him that. He knows what it is. 我爸你的房子你都有吧？就是我。The 242 is 4th bedroom. 240A 你的 A 有。
個 A 個要將佢要攬嘅房。
呢個是呢個三個。
攬嘅房，呢個一個係小房。
240A has 3 bedrooms. 240 B has 3 bedrooms also.
There's 10 bedrooms in that house?
Yes.
Thank you. See what happens, Mr. Duca. Someone makes a 3-family there, probably 2 singles, 1 bedroom, right? Probably a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom, and then they turn the 1 bedrooms into 3 bedrooms. I'd like to take a look at that piece of property inside. You know what, you bought it, it's yours, it's just, this is a mess. It's a mess up there, and you're making a mess of it. This is a beautiful street. It's like putting those kind of things in place like that. Don't make me happy, okay? The only way I would even think this is they paved that whole thing with pavers, made it look really nice.
Garage, come on.
Well, garage, they don't want the garage on, so the same units on that side. But I think that would be a lot easier, but if it's one unit has it, then you still got 4 bedrooms with 1 parking space. It's like bizarre. It's
If the
bizarre.
garage is gone or all the stuff
Even
is
the wood rent.
taken out of it, so that they can actually use the garage space.
Garage has been empty.
When
It's all because our tables are removed.
Yeah, everything is been removed, it's been cleaned out.
people parking in it now,
No one parks it.
that's what a garage is for. So they park in it, the space on the right is open to get parked there, the other guys can buy, just create another one, it's still high.
I
No,
think
it isn't, it's, you got 2 out, his plan, he wants 1 more in left, right? That's for 1 more in left. You know, it's President's Lane. That's really, and they're parked all over the street. And it's wrong, it's just wrong. Because people put 3 bedrooms in small units that shouldn't have 3 bedrooms. I'll bet money there was 2 1-bedroom units in that place when they probably built it. Probably really a single house, and then they chopped it up, and then they just keep adding, and now it's our problem. We got people just stuffing in there, and they all got cars, and where do they go? You know, just say no, you take them 1 car off the street and make that look ugly, to me, that's what you're doing. So, I'm not in favor, I'm just not. Yeah, we're gonna, but I'm just saying, if there's any other option here, I can't see it. You got 10 bedrooms, and you got 1 parking space for it. 4 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms. We'll talk it over, thank you.
Thank you.
Since they changed their plans, does anyone want to speak in favor? Favor on this? First call, second call, third call closed, no new correspondence. Anyone opposed or undecided?
Yep.
Anyone want to speak, please step forward. Name and address for the record. Did you see the new plan?
I saw it on my phone, so I really couldn't see the
Yeah,
plan
right here,
itself.
just, I'll show it to you, just so you do have. This is what I wanted, they want to add that. They have that,
Right.
they have this. They just want to add this 1 spot here, take 1 more car
Did some
off.
math with these
They had
numbers, and
3
the
of
numbers
those.
didn't seem to add up first very well. I don't know if you can,
No, there's plenty of room for that, you can get 2 cars.
as long as you don't mind it in the front lawn.
Exactly. Plenty of room.
So,
Over on that left side with the
Barbara Berlucci,
200, I'm gonna need that,
231 President's Lane.
sure. Okay.
Across the, I'm sorry, I'm across the street from this property, and I'm wondering where these names came from, because we canvassed the neighborhood, and we thought, people that are against this, that live in homes and condos on President's Lane, Lawton, and Dixwell. I don't know what those addresses are, where they came.
1, 2, 3, 4,
And every other
5,
house.
6, 7,
There was
8,
nobody
9,
home.
10, 11, 12,
Are these
13,
from one
14,
address?
15, 16, 17, yeah, 17 of them are from 195.
So is that's the Sunny Apartments? What is that? That's an apartment house?
It's Thomas Bergen Parkway, yeah, it's on the,
Because they're,
yeah, the apartments.
yeah, so they just went to the apartments, so those people, they're not vested in the neighborhood. But anyway, so that's, I did want to bring that up. one of the people that are on our list of homeowners on President's Lane mentioned to me when we were getting the signatures that if these people got away with this, that they were going to do the same thing. Said it as a joke, sort of half as a joke, but they're new to the neighborhood. They have the house is set in back of other houses. They have a long front driveway, and that's what he said to me. Also, Mr. McKim, he was coming with us the last 2 times. This is our 3rd time here. Ron McKim, he was a police officer. So he said utility lines go under that one pad on the left that they were putting 3 cars in. The gentleman that owned the house, the Lord family, I believe their name was, he put in that pad on the left, the 1 car pad, illegal. He just did it one day, and he did it over the line. So I don't know, that doesn't sound like a good thing to do, to add more. We have seen over 8 cars in that driveway on the right, pulled down back, pulled out on the weekends. And of course, I'm still totally against this happening in my neighborhood.
Thank you. Next, name and address.
So Karen Monkley on 158. Oh yeah, thank you. Karen Monkley, 158 President's Lane. I was actually here, I guess, at a hearing when the house next to me was being proposed. And I guess I look at, it said Quincy is what it is. Then houses are close together. When you purchase it, you know what you got. When I purchased my house 30 years ago, we spent more time talking about the no parking sign on the telephone pole directly in front of my house. How could we buy a house that blah, blah, blah. But that's what we knew, and we bought that. The idea, and again, as in the house next door, when that apartment went in the cellar, I don't know. But when this one became, I guess, a 3-family, with the parking that it is, and somebody bought it, to me doesn't make sense. Aside from that, the aesthetics of it, I totally disagree.
Thank you.
Hi, Linda Monaco, 21 Glendale Road. I live at the other end of President's Lane, so this doesn't affect me directly, but I'm greatly troubled that we would begin to allow people to pave over their front yards. We live in close proximity to the T, where parking is at a premium. I have heard rumors in the neighborhood, people saying, wow, if you can pave over your front yard, then why can't I do it and maybe charge people to park? So what a nightmare that would make, and what a horrible look it would be in the neighborhood. And I think this is a troubling precedent if you allow this to happen.
Thank you.
I'm Ruth Nicholson. I live at 103 Dixwell Avenue, and I am definitely opposed to the parking and paving the front lawns in the neighborhood. It's going to set a precedent, and like Linda Monaco said, people are going to be paving their front yard and charging. So I am opposed for that reason. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Betsy Doherty, 148 President's Lane, Unit 2. I love Quincy. I love the way Quincy looks, and I think this is a really, really bad idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Barry.
Hi, my name is Regina Scanlon. I live at 15 Glendale Road. I went by the house that is being questioned about the paving, that, and truly all houses. I'm completely against it. You drive down Bergen Parkway now, you look, people are parked on their lawns, they're putting in pretendy driveways that do not blend in at all with the landscape of the neighborhood. I am against any paving. When I drive sometimes through Quincy, and I have called people in Quincy, people in government, and said, if I were driving down some of these streets now, and that was my look, my first look of Quincy, I would not consider living in Quincy. And I love Quincy. I truly love Quincy. I'm also, I know this is not the board for that, but why are there 10 bedrooms in that house. There's the problem. The problem is that there shouldn't be 10 bedrooms. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Scanlon.
Good evening, my name is Jocelyn Sedney. I live at 85 Monroe Road, which is parallel to President's Lane. And I just want to say, I think this sets a really dangerous precedent if this was allowed to go forward. There are people who attempt to do this. There's a place on Dixwell where I think that people did use pavers to try to expand the parking. It looks awful, even with the pavers. Next door to me is a non-conform, I guess it was a 3-family before the zoning went into effect on my road. It's now been converted to 3 condos. The people there have really done a good job. They use their garage to park. They have the tandem parking along the edge of the driveway. They've done what they could to try to prevent overburdening the parking situation. But I'm concerned that the ownership will change, and if this is allowed to go forward, then the people next door to me are going to come forward and they're going to want to do the same kind of thing, and it's going to be hard to say no when you've already said yes on the street below. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sidney.
My name is Chris Locke. I live at 40 President's Lane. I just want to echo the comments from everyone else.
What was your name again?
Chris Locke,
Wow.
L-O-C-K-E. But also, it's also going to cause runoff problems down the road if we allow people to take over everything. So.
Thank you. John?
John Orfeld, 62 Brownwall Road. First of all, there's only about 8,000 square feet in that lot size. It only says there's supposed to be 5 bedrooms on the assessor's page, so they've used it for 10 bedrooms. So by giving them more parking, you are going to allow more cars to come there. I can see them parking tandem, which means they're going to be sticking out to the sidewalk. People aren't going to be able to go on the sidewalk. So maybe if they want to put something to the left up against that fence, so they can maybe squeeze 2 cars in.
That's what he's here for, John.
Just to the fence?
He wants another spot in front of his property.
What are you talking about, to the right or to the left?
No, to the left, right here. This is what he has that. He wants to add this one.
I did not see that new plan, and I'm going to remain neutral. Thank you.
Thank you. Council.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I just want to acknowledge the neighbors who clearly are here this evening. Thank the board again. I know this is I think it's our 3rd time here on this particular item, and a couple things I want to say. First of all, I know Mr. Milgram talked to his clients. I know you all had suggested the thought about taking the garage down in the back. I know in the past when we've been here on this project, the neighbors have been willing to work with, and I think the board have been willing to work with the proponents of this in terms of understanding some of the challenges that they face with so many cars and trying to get them off the street. I think that I wish the folks were interested in maybe taking down the garage in the back. It seemed that the neighbors thought that that was a good solution. It seemed that the board might think that that might give them some relief. But I think it's clear that we are seeing this across the board, across the city, and in this particularly iconic neighborhood, that this isn't going to fly. And adding pavers, I know the chairman suggested that as maybe a mitigation tactic, but I know that that was just discussing it. Again, and I know Jocelyn mentioned it. I don't know that doesn't really help. That just adds to the cement footprint on the front lawn. And one of the greatest blights in our neighborhood, and I know Mrs. Scanlon discussed it, and she's emailed me, and we've talked about it, and it's a particular problem, not in just this neighborhood, but other neighborhoods, particularly in Ward 5, of people parking on their front lawns. And I've talked many times with Mr. Duca, sending him to several addresses where, this junks up a neighborhood faster than any type of blight or trash issue or anything. I mean, nothing blights up a neighborhood faster than people parking on the front lawns. And by adding pavers or a space doesn't help it. And so, you know, I think the neighborhood's spoken. I wish that there were a way that the proponents here could have worked it out with the board. We all understand the issues. Again, 10 bedrooms in this particular space is a disaster. But as the chairman pointed out, all of this to take one car off the street, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. And so I understand the predicament that we have here, but this isn't setting a good precedent for this neighborhood, for the city, and the neighbors and myself, we're all opposed to this. So I thank the board for, I know we've been here again three times, and I want to thank the neighbors who've been here tonight, who've been here every night, who went out and collected the signatures and are really advocating for their neighborhood. And they understand that this is a changing time in the city, and I think a lot of them are sensitive to that, and they're not opposed to development, they're not opposed to the city moving forward, but doing it in a responsible way. And I think that this isn't something that we want to see invade our neighborhoods. So appreciate you listening tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Council. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is there anyone else? Last call? Call out of hearing closed. You know, 10 bedrooms, this ain't gonna fix anything. So that's the problem. That's the problem you're facing. Mr. Duker, I'd like the assessor's office to know there is 10 bedrooms in that place. If you could let them know, or I'll let them know. Doesn't matter.
We'll take care of that right away.
You know, maybe they need a reassessment on their home. Renting it out, 10 bedrooms, and this is President's Land, and whoever did this in the beginning was mind-boggling to even do that. So I don't think they had 10 bedrooms when they did it. So I'll be voting no. I just don't think President's Lane should be paved.
Mr. Chairman, I'll be voting no.
Have a motion, please.
No as well.
I request my client be allowed to withdraw without prejudice.
As long as it's a completely different plan when he comes back, that's fine. Do you have a motion, please, to withdraw our prejudice? What that means, I'll let you know in a second.
Matter number Z17-90, Willie Sunfon Khan, for a variance finding that a variance of the setback requirement for the off-street parking will not result in substantial detriment to the neighborhood on premises number 240 President's Lane. I make a motion to withdraw without prejudice.
Second. Second. On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
So moved. Thank you. What that means is, if he's gonna bring this back, it has to be a completely different plan, which he'd have to do anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Thank you.
We'll give you a minute to clear out.
Plan actually is very good.
Thank you for attending and hanging in there.
I was gonna check on that.
They were just representing it though, like they really weren't doing in front of the house. It was to the left. You know, just you need a variance to go that close to someone's property, but like in Montclair,
We can make it, whoa, time to go. Talk outside. Still got a meeting. Thank you. Case number Z17-104. 99 for a variance finding to replace the structure damaged by fire and add a second story in the same footprint, 55 Circuit Road. The applicant and their representative here. Really? Really? Council even sent in a letter of approval. We'll call that again in a minute. Case number Z17-105, Tom Quinn for variance to construct an addition in the deck on 14 Seaway Road. Guess so.
Good evening, everyone. For the record, my name is Christopher Carroll. I'm the lawyer in Quincy. Tonight I have Hal Marsh here, architect, and I have the applicants, Tom and Anne Marie Quinn. Also involved in this is Dorothy Schofield, Anne Marie's mother. She unfortunately can't be here for health reasons. A little background information before I turn it over to my Should have done that when I was thinking in my presentation. Keep it up here.
Sorry, Chris.
Okay. A little background information. The Quinns are longtime residents as well as Mrs. Schofield. Mrs. Schofield currently lives on Norwood Road, and her daughter and son-in-law live on Seaway. The Seaway project is very similar to many projects in Quincy. It's on a corner lot on the corner of Seaway and Park Avenue. Therefore, it triggers 2 front setback requirements. Due to illness, Mrs. Schofield can no longer reside in Norwood Road. So at this time, her daughter and son-in-law have graciously suggested that she move in with them to unfortunately spend her final days. So as a result of it, they retained architect Marsh, and they told him what they'd like to do. He consulted with the city of Quincy, and the main features that they really wanted to emphasize, because they know what the requirements are, architect Marsh informed them in meeting with Mr. Duca and Mr. Conlon. They wanted to address egress, parking. Unfortunately, Mrs. Schofield won't be able to drive much longer. And they wanted to construct a 400, approximately, and you have the plan there, so don't hold me to it, approximately a 400 square foot ground floor, shall we call it a suite, with all the handicapped accommodations for Mrs. Schofield. And that's essentially going to go over an existing patio. So they wanted to do all the upgrades, do it, and then because they were losing their patio, they decided, because it would be a great idea for Mrs. Schofield, on the opposite side of their property, they wanted to put in a deck. And the deck is, there's reasoning for the deck. Number one, Mrs. Schofield always had a deck on Norwood Road, and it's something she really enjoyed. But the other issue is the Quinns have grandchildren, and they thought, without using legal terms, they could contain the grandchildren so that they wouldn't wander down into busy Dorchester Street. So that was their goal of the deck. So essentially, Hal will give you the presentation. We feel we've addressed the parking issue, which unfortunately she won't be able to drive, but we're putting it in place. The egress issue, and they would like in any possible support and comment for this project. So with that, if you have any questions of me, I'll gladly step back in, but I think Hal is the subject matter expert.
The pergola, how far off the street is the pergola?
You mean the porch?
Over here, isn't there a pergola on the left of it?
Yes, sir.
Right here?
That's set back.
Nothing on this.
Well, it's
like 10 feet?
10 feet.
All right.
Which is still behind the existing house line.
Good.
So, okay. All right, this is a few pictures of the existing house, which you have. This is the north view, actually facing harbor and the downtown views, where a deck we're proposing to have those views. The third parking space was required by code for 4 bedrooms, and the addition would create a 4th bedroom in this house. And that would be basically here and here. Again, the existing driveway is not paved, it's just gravel. And we probably would keep it the same. The existing house has the decks on the Park Ave side. We're required, because it's a corner lot, to have 2 front yard setbacks and no rear yard, because each side yard is a side. So on the Park Avenue side, we did set it back, required 25 feet. On the Seaway side, which is the address in front of the house, The existing house is only about 4 feet off the property line. And the bulk of the new addition will be proposed at 16 feet. And as stated a minute ago, a pergola cover or a patio would be 10 feet into the setback. I'm sorry, 10 feet away from the property line, 6 feet into the setback. It is a 1-floor continuous from the existing first floor, a bedroom, a handicap bath, and a walk-in closet. Patio on the seaway side, and a walkway basically to the garage, to the parking spaces on the rear Park Avenue side lot.
How do you enter the house?
Okay.
With the new addition, how are you gonna enter the house?
Well, the existing house will remain the main entrance, which is your Seaway Road, and the entrance is off the side.
So they're parking out front?
Well, again, there's 2 fronts.
Right.
The main entrance is off Seaway, which is the address, 14
He's
Seaway.
parking out back too?
No,
No, so you're parking,
off of Park Avenue, off of Park Avenue,
right,
not off of Seaway.
right. So you gotta walk all the way down the length of the house to get in the house?
They do that now, Mike.
Yes, that's the existing situation. Yes.
They didn't walk in the front, right there?
Well, there is a patio door here
Yeah.
now, yes, so they
just walk
can
in.
go in that way, but typically they go in the side and in the main entrance. There's a foyer here.
Hey, just think, it's raining out, you got groceries,
Yeah,
you know, you're gonna run through Marge.
well, again, in the new,
Marge's property,
in the new
Marge's
proposal,
little hubby.
in the new proposal, if they do still remain parking here, that's what this patio, it's basically grade level, and a, we'll call it a rear entrance on the back side here. So that's what that's for.
Any questions?
I don't have it this time.
No questions. No questions.
Thanks, you can have a seat. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor? Speak in favor? First call? Second call? Before I say third call, I have a letter here from Ward 6 Councilor, Mr. Harris, dear Chairman Akins, the zoning board, 14 Seaway Road, Z15105 application for variance. Dear Chairman Akins, I'm writing to you and the members of the zoning board of appeals express that I have received no objections to Mr. Tom Quinn's application for variance at 14 Seaway Road, scheduled for a hearing in the board Tuesday, November 28th. Quinn's intends to construct an addition and a deck for no family member due to the previous schedule, so he's telling us he's in favor. Third call. Call that part of the hearing closed. Correspondence, I have a letter here from DPW. We have reviewed the above referenced project and have no comments. Is there anyone opposed or undecided?
I'd like to know more about this.
Sure.
My name's Dana George.
Why don't you step up and state your name and address for the record?
Sure. My name's Dana George, and I live at 4 Seaway Road, so Anne Marie and the Quinns are my neighbors. I've never seen these plans. The first I knew of this was a card I got in the mail. And I just don't know how close they're gonna be to my property line, because as I said, I haven't seen this.
Which side do you live on?
I'm on the Seaway side. I'm,
On the other side, to the right, Park Ave?
yeah, well, wait a second, like, this is her house, this is her house, and I'm right here. And that's where she's proposing to put the deck. And how much space is there going to be here?
In the
Like,
back?
well, actually, it's the left side, I think, the way you look at it.
Here, come on up here.
This is her property right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your property here, right? Right here.
Yeah, that's me.
So the deck,
I just want to kind of see what's going on.
yeah. No, exactly. Here's the deck in the back. Let me do that. Where is it?
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Right, I think it's just the deck that goes towards my yard because of the easement.
Goes back here.
Yeah, I think,
19, right, but
So
how many
19.
feet is that? Off the
The
back?
deck's 14, so it's 5
6,
feet.
7 feet?
so it's 5 feet between her
7
house
feet
and the
off.
deck?
It's 7 feet off the back
6'10", that's right.
of her lot line.
7.
6'10", exactly, from the lot line. So, right here.
See, I know the shed that's existing there?
Yeah.
It's about to the middle of the shed,
Okay.
not to the rear of the shed.
So it's going like this. That's what it's going, right there.
Okay.
And there's the shed, off the middle of the shed.
Right.
So it's like 6'10" to her lot line.
And what is it supposed to be, 13? Is it between the houses?
20,
It's supposed to be 20?
20 in the back.
That's kind of what it is now, 19.3.
Yeah.
That's not like that side.
Side.
That side.
Yeah, the side, I
Is
thought.
that side?
Yeah, it's, I think,
Oh,
I
yeah, all
thought
right,
the
you're right,
side
you're
was
right, I got
different,
it
I
wrong,
thought
I
it
got
was
it wrong, it
13.
is 13,
Okay.
so it's half. 6'10". The deck is, how big is that deck in the back?
It's,
You got two deck, you got a fence going on the bottom too?
no, fence?
No, it fell down.
Yeah.
That fell down?
No fence.
That's what it is.
All right, so it's just gonna be a deck on the second
And a
floor.
railing, yeah.
See the second floor? Gonna be nothing down here, just the second floor deck.
It's actually the first floor, it's
First
just
floor,
above
yeah,
grade,
it's
quite a
above
bit.
grade, right.
Yeah, no, no,
It's
her
4
house
feet
is
above
a lot
grade.
higher.
Yeah, her property's low.
4 feet above
Yeah.
grade, yeah.
Oh, well, I don't want to take their plans.
No, you can show it. So you can speak now, yea and nay, or maybe and maybe.
I think that they should be allowed to do their deck and what they want to do. I just wish it wasn't so close to my house. I think it's gonna be high up. When I'm sitting outside, the kids are laying out, whatever, it's just gonna feel creepy that they're right on top of us.
How big is that deck? Let me see this plan.
Proposed at 14 by 20. Actually,
foot long?
the Quinns actually use that backyard at grade now with, they have tables and outdoor furniture there. And we just wanted to raise their ability to use that view.
Why can't you cut that back to a 12-foot deck and give her 9 feet in the back?
Well, actually, because the place that it's gonna come out comes out of its window that will be coming up now a door is actually a 2-foot, it's like a bump out. So it actually would be really only 10 feet.
But that's only on 6 feet of it.
That's
You
true.
still got another 16 feet going this way.
But also Dana's house is really set back from ours. I mean, there's a big yard, her
I
yard,
know, but-
and also her
but
deck is there too.
You got a
So
14-foot deck. That's pretty big when you're cutting into the setback in the back. It really is. I mean, it's supposed to be 13.
Well, I believe with a deck with no roof, it can go into the setback by 4 feet or 6 feet. I don't recall the exact measurement.
3 feet on the side, setback,
Side,
3 feet.
side.
I mean, I'm not here to
Still.
prevent them from.
No,
being
no, I
able to
know
do what
that,
they
I
want,
know
but
that.
I appreciate my own home.
And I understand that too.
And my privacy
Right,
too.
and they're higher than you, and it's looking up. When you're looking that way, you're looking right at it. You know what I'm saying? It's like 14-foot deck, what's wrong with 12-foot deck, 2 feet less, and it's.
Can I ask you a question?
Good.
I'm fine.
What, the door that you designed, that coming out, is that what they just said to me?
Yeah, this is all wrong.
The door is coming out of the deck?
Actually, that we're considering either a slider
Slider?
or an interior French door.
But it's like this.
Yeah.
So it's like 1.5 foot.
So, my point is, we think What you said.
14, 12, 14.
You're not really losing that.
No, you got 16 feet here, I mean, you got a slide. You're not moving the door though, you still got 11 feet there, and you got 12 back here. And it's still a big deck. 12-foot deck's a big deck. Thank you.
Sure.
Is there anyone else opposed or undecided? Second call? Third call? Call it out of hearing closed. You know, I'm in favor of it, but I think a 12-foot deck is plenty. I don't think you need a 14-foot deck. Going into the setback with a 6'10" setback, they can make an 8'10", which is still, they're over 5 feet 2 inches in the setback. So, I mean, I'd be in favor of that, cutting that back 2 feet, giving the neighbors some room. It's not a lot to ask for a neighbor. They're gonna live there the rest of their lives. My 2 cents.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I definitely agree with you that if we could get a couple of feet off, it's sort of a compromise. That's what I think I would be in favor of.
Any comments?
Yeah, is there a reason why it has to be 14 and can't be 12?
You know, we have 5 children, 5 grown children, and now I have 2 grandchildren, and we also know my mother's going to be in a wheelchair, and we just wanted the extra space. I mean, that yard really won't, doesn't get used except, like, if we put the deck there, that's all that's going to be our backyard. And also, I think, Dana has a deck on that same side of her house, and there actually has been issues between Dana and I in the past. So I feel as though this is kind of, this is out of anger because we've had, conversations in the past about different things in the backyard. So I feel as though
I wouldn't take it as anger, I just take it as the setback should be.
If I was angry, I'd say that you shouldn't have any setback. I think you should have your deck, and you guys should have what you want. But I should also be entitled to the privacy.
All right, we're not gonna have any crosstalk, we can't.
You know?
It just can't happen.
I mean,
All right,
I don't
wait,
wish you any bad.
it's fine. I just wanted to explain.
We've been
It's
neighbors
getting out
for
of
20
hand.
years. I should have found this out beforehand. I'd be losing some of this. I just don't think this is right.
I'd be in favor if the deck were smaller.
Yeah.
Considering previous neighborhood problems, it seems that the compromise would be in the making. For 2 feet, it's not going to destroy the value of the deck or the use of the deck.
No, not at all, you're gonna 12-foot deck. Can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, in matter number 17-105, Tom Quinn for a variance to construct an addition and a deck on the premises number 14 Seaway Road, Quincy. Make a motion to grant the variance for the construction of the addition and that the deck be 12 feet by 22.
Second? Second. On the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
You're welcome, you're all set. Welcome. Further on to tonight, C-17-106, Simon Lamb for variance to construct a second floor addition on the premise number 136 Holbrook Road. The applicant and representative here. You have the floor.
My name is Simon. I'm from 18 Walking Road, Quincy, and this is the owner and my client of 136 Holbrook Road, Mr. Nate.
What do you do?
I am the general contractor.
Okay, name and address?
Initial Nate, 136 Holbrook Road.
Okay. Why don't you tell us what you want to do?
We would like to add a second floor addition to the house, to the existing house.
It's on the same footprint?
Yes.
You're not going outside, nothing?
Nope.
Staying right there. What are you doing for Basement's gonna stay the same, correct?
Yes.
Just in the frame and the house set. What are you gonna do with the porch? You leaving that the way it is?
The front, we want to push it back. It takes a little more, we want to push it back so you'll be able to put 2 cars in the front.
So,
Yeah.
so that's gonna be pushed back, but that's gonna be one floor.
It's just, oh, yeah, 1 floor. There's nothing to do
You're
with
gonna
the top.
shrink, you're gonna shrink the
Yes,
entrance.
we're gonna shrink the entrance, yes.
I thought I saw that. Is that right? You still keep them the same. Any questions?
Let's talk about parking, since we just denied a parking area that's in the front of someone's lawn. This parking space you have now is on the front.
Yes.
Oh, that's not paved yet?
It is paid.
That's what I thought.
But you're,
It's existing.
it was a front lawn, and now it's.
It never had a front lawn. It doesn't even have a
Oh,
front lawn.
yeah, come on, of course it did.
Fence.
50 years
Oh,
ago,
yeah,
it had,
15
50 years ago, it had. And I do know that there's been a lot of controversy in Ward 3 back in the day about parking, paving front lawns. So I'm just telling you right now, I'm really not big, but almost everybody knows, but that's just a comment. We're making 2 more bedrooms, and
That's where they pull in. That's their parking.
that's their parking.
Right.
And there's their lawn.
No, I'm saying, that is their parking.
Yes.
How
We're
is
gonna
it
make
built?
it bigger, and there'll be more parking.
No, what we're gonna do is you can shrink that right down to 2 car spaces and put lawn on the front, a lawn on each side.
But we still have, right now they have 2 cars. They're gonna have 2 more bedrooms,
Yeah.
so that's at least 2 more cars.
But they're gonna have them anyway.
You're seeking relief.
I mean, you're gonna have, huh?
You're seeking
They're
relief
seeking
from
relief for
parking.
parking.
Oh, yeah, what is that? This whole thing here?
Mhm.
I didn't see that.
No, sorry.
Going from 2 to 3 spaces.
Why is that all the way down like that? This could be cut back like here. Right?
There is a little bit of grass on both sides of that space.
Yeah, I know. But not much.
It's because you don't on the street, I thought it was
Yeah, that's just my comment, I'm
No,
sorry.
no, you're
It's
right,
the
you're
alternative,
right,
I'm sorry.
you're right. You're right, that whole thing is, I thought that was just a driveway, I didn't even see it went all the way back. Jim? Questions?
No, my concern is also that the parking in the front, looks like, I'm trying to get my arms around it, looks like there's existing asphalt there now?
Yeah, it's existing asphalt. Right in front, the house is really close to the sidewalk. It's just that they have the 1 parking space. The whole front of the house is that big. And there's a front door going down, and there's a parking spot right there. It's a sideway parking. It's on the side, and that's the front of the house.
So right now there's.
So we are proposing to push the front back and lose the front entrance that's going straight out. We're gonna make it to the side, yeah. So you can move so you can put the car, put it in the car there.
Right.
Yeah,
Not like,
we're-
not like I love it, but it's a couple questions. One, why couldn't you do tandem parking at that point? I mean, why do you have to do side by side? Why couldn't they all just go in straight and you could fit 3 across?
You can fit 4 across.
4 across, probably.
So,
Yeah. I mean, you already have an existing.
2 and 2.
There's no parking in the house at all. I mean, there's no driveway, there's no lot, there's no building.
Right.
Besides that though, so I think the solution is there. You can have 3 spots easy. But why is there a dormer on the attic and no 3rd floor plan?
Is the dormer is because they want more storage space. The dormer is for the attic stairs
Yeah.
go up,
Yeah.
so you can do for storage up in the attic.
Seems to me
That's just one section, one small
Yeah,
section.
one on the left side,
Only
yeah.
like 6 feet,
Yeah.
if I read that right. I thought it was like 6
Oh, there was no 3rd floor plan, so I just.
No,
They're
it
both
was a
unfinished,
6 foot.
yeah.
a 6 foot up there or something.
I thought it was higher than that.
It wasn't used.
7, 8.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna do for parking on the place? Because you gotta get some cars off, huh?
Just the
Yeah.
legal mass, that's what she
Right,
said.
right. It is bizarre. I can't, whichever way you're coming in, this way, 2 cars going this way. You need 1 and 2, right? And put some grass on
I think that's the traffic.
I mean, what do you do when there's no parking? There's no driveway, it's a 34 foot, what is it got, 38 foot lot? How big is it, 34, 36, 38?
It's 34.
34, and then you got 34-inch width lot.
Single curb cut, doors right in the front. Single curb cut right now. Is there single curb cut?
That's the question, it was just.
It looks like it.
Well, there's one on almost either side.
Yeah, I mean, you guess you
Because he
can
can
go
use
there.
his, and he can use his own. And it's like, you can use that for it.
Looks like the neighbors though.
Well, that is, this is still his. So you could pull 2 cars in there and put some grass there. But you got the driveway coming out on this side over there.
So right now you have.
Why
Yes,
couldn't
one
you-
car on the side, you park sideways.
Why couldn't you park one on each side and leave the middle nice?
We could, but because the architecture was, say, if you car park this way, it sticks out a little bit into the sidewalk. That's why he said, that's why he draw it sideways, yeah.
But you're cutting the front back, right?
Yeah, we're kind of front back, yeah.
Yeah, but still, I know exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, it
What's
sticks
the
out a little
depth of
bit.
Yeah, it's only 16 feet.
This is curved, that's a curve, so you can pull this way, or you can pull this way.
How deep's the cut?
You're pulling here because this guy's driveway goes way up, you see it?
There's an elevator up
I'm
there.
saying it's proposing is to make it curb cut.
Yes, there's a curb in front of the,
But you're gonna leave that.
we want to take it out.
Oh,
So is this proposed, you'll have 16 feet deep from the sidewalk, from the edge of the sidewalk to the
Yes,
house?
to the front of the house, yeah.
and you're losing a piece
You
of
need
grass
18?
that's there. Right?
Technically.
Huh? But I mean, really, you gotta make something look a little better than wall-to-wall parking.
Well, you'd have the grass, I mean, you could, I don't know, you could do it, but, I mean, you probably have enough room where you can.
Well, he's got
people
plenty
could
of room to
abuse
get
it,
in either
just
way.
Drive over it.
But we didn't allow it President's Lane.
But this is already existing, it's already there.
Well, so that was their argument too, they already had parking space there.
But the whole front is already paved.
I understand.
It's already paved today, the whole front of that other one wasn't already paved. This is already paved.
Yeah.
I agree, but now
What I'm saying-
we're putting in 2 more bedrooms.
I get it, I get it. No, I get there's an additional need for cars.
Why would you take the curb cut out of there when that's the only piece of grass that should be there? We should put grass in there. You got a piece of grass in front of your house.
It's not one of those.
So they have 2 existing spaces and they want 1 more.
Yeah.
No, they don't even, I mean, they're not
Well,
even
they're just
asking,
gonna
they're
use
just
it.
asking for
They're
the,
gonna shrink the entry back so they can pull in.
Yes, this, yeah, instead of having an entrance go from the front, which they had the stairway,
Right.
they want to turn to the side, so
Right.
when they park, they come from the side up, so you can get that maximum space.
Right.
Yes.
which if you leave the entrance in the front, then you lose the.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it sticks out all the way out,
6
yeah.
feet.
Yep.
Because right now, they don't even have a landing for them to come out.
No,
It's up, it's a doorway, and they go straight stairs, there's
Right.
no landing or
Right,
anything.
right, right. You step down, fall down.
City streets.
In the city, probably gonna look like Southie every day.
Except not as expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one.
How many vehicles in your household now?
There's two.
So currently one park's on the street?
Yes, one is parked right in front of the curb and one is inside the front of the house. Yeah.
How do you get to the third floor?
The floor is a stairway.
Floor down or stairway?
Stairway.
Okay.
Where that bump up is.
So on the first floor, they're taking out a bedroom so they can make the living room bigger. And then they put 2 more bedrooms upstairs. And they're keeping 1 bedroom downstairs because he has his mother-in-law in the son, so they don't want her upstairs, they want to keep her on the first floor. Yeah.
And you're putting 2 bedrooms on the second floor, or 3?
2, I believe.
How do you keep them on
You're
the
the guy.
Yeah, 2.
Somebody tell me that one? Don't send that video to my job.
You got a family area too up there, right?
Yes, yes.
What I'm saying, something big enough. Put the one downstairs. Good, Dawn, what do you, any thoughts here, guys? You don't want. I get that. You got that?
I would like to see some green space. I'm concerned about taking away the sidewalk and the curb cuts. If you're going to decide where there should be green space. The 2 sides of the house is concrete pads, so there's no green space on the sides.
There's nothing.
Would it be possible if they kept that green space right there and have them park 2-way in instead of 2 sideways?
That's what I was saying.
2-way in, but they still have to cut a little bit of curb because they have to make it 2
Well, then you can
sideways.
put your grass in the middle. too.
Yeah, we can keep that grass.
I'll tell you what,
As long
why
as
don't you
they
come
would
back with a
keep
plan December 12th? We'll finish the hearing and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Come back with a plan, but get the parking plan here. You can get it done by the end of this week?
I will try, yes.
Or get it at least by Monday,
On Monday, yes.
and then she can get it out to us, so we'll get it by Friday.
Okay.
I mean, all you're doing is you're just keeping the house.
House is
set
the
back.
same.
House
House
doesn't
thing,
move.
we're just going right on top of.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
going
but we're shooting the front.
Fix the
2
front.
side by
2
side, so
sides.
you'll essentially have like a little sliver
You
of
have a
yard.
sliver of grass in the front. Oh, I know, but I'm saying if you got something like that, we're still gonna have the whole hearing, at least it's a little more to the palate than that. I mean, it's keeping the same footprint. Any other questions, the applicant? Anyone? No? Okay, you can have a seat.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone that wants to speak in favor? First call, second call, third call closed. Correspondence?
No comment, DPW.
I got a letter from the DPW, they reviewed the above referenced project and have no comments. Anyone opposed or undecided? First call?
I just got one question, please. John Rufel, 62 Brownwell Road. Is this residential A or residential B?
Residential A, I believe.
Resi.
Okay, because that does make a difference because
Thank you, John.
there's only 4,000 square feet in this lot.
Exactly.
The lot was meant for a tiny house and it sounds, I haven't seen the plans, but if there's a walk-up 3rd floor,
No. It's a store. It's just-
but
it's just a
is the
stair.
front, are they building a new entryway in the front so you can walk up to the 2nd floor and get into the front?
No.
No. It's one floor on the front. Everything in the front's gonna stay the same.
But it
The
says,
entrance is gonna be on the side.
it says it's 888 square feet, so the 2nd floor will be another 888 square feet.
A little less.
Yeah.
They're gonna take off
They
the.
just
And I
put the
think,
second
is
floor.
Holbrook a one-way right there?
Yes.
It's the same. It's
That's
just-
that little section where it's one way and stuff, so I don't even go down that street anymore because you gotta take that quick left and whatever. But nobody does like anyone parking on the street, and that's right, you know.
Right, it's tough down.
People wait to pick up people even going to school there and stuff, but it's tough, I mean, I don't know, I mean, we need parking and stuff, but the way that is right now, if you look at the Google Maps picture, or if you look at the city assessor's picture, it got the same white car sitting, it even looks like it's even parked on like the sidewalk, so I mean, that's,
Probably because the
Yeah.
Google Maps stole the picture from the city assessor.
it could be, it could be. But anyway, like I said, just do your due diligence, I have trust in the board.
Thank you. Anyone else? Call that part of
One way or the
meeting
other.
closed. Why don't we give them 2 weeks, December 12th, and
Do we need anything else? Are we good on everything else?
is everyone good and everyone else?
As long as I have time to mail them to the board
Well,
members.
it is what it is, so they gotta fix it and then help out. I mean, even that house, if it stays the way it is, it's gonna stay the way it is. You can't rip it out.
Well, no.
So,
We'll talk.
you know what I mean, if we could at least give them, if you could give us some grass back.
Mr. Chairman, matter Z17-106, Simon Lamb for a variance to construct a second floor addition on the premises number 136 Holbrook Road. I make a motion to continue the hearing for December 12th.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No more. Do you understand what we're looking for?
Yes, I'll get
Green grass in the middle,
Yeah.
leave the curb cut in the front, maybe shrink a little bit would be fine. In,
Yeah.
but put some grass back.
Yes.
All right. You'll have that next Monday, correct?
Yes.
All right, she can get it out to us, thank you. We got one more to go back to, correct?
Circuit Road.
Circuit Road here? You're not here? Unbelievable.
You're all set.
January, we got January
23rd.
23rd. January 23rd.
Mr. Chairman, in matter number Z17-104, Fang Glenn for a variance finding to replace a structure damaged by fire and add a second story with the same footprint on the premises number 55 Circuit Road, Quincy. I make a motion to continue the hearing to January 23rd.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Chairman, I make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded? Seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you, everyone.
Did you miss a case, or were you here for a circuit?
Who are you here for?
You were here for Circuit Road?
Just learning?
We were, but I didn't get sworn in, so I.
Yeah, no,
They didn't show up.
Yeah, I understand, I realize it.
Who are you here for?
Spring Street.
Oh, that was continued.
Oh, it's rescheduled?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we announced that at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh, it's been continued until December.
December 12th.
Well,
December 12th.
Yeah, sorry.
we just got the new set of plans today.
Sorry about that.
So, you have the date, January 23rd?
I have not attended a board of appeals meeting in
Yeah.
Quincy. I
Yeah.
live an hour away, but my dad lives next door.
Sure.
You've given me a reason to come and ask questions.
Good.
It took me a process. Last time I did it in the board.
It's a good process?
I mean,
Is it a good process?
yes, I was very much interested in Harvard because I was under the impression that the planning board did an awful lot in terms of your landscaping. That's what it does in my town and what goes on there. But again, I haven't been in front of a board of appeals for 30 years.
Yeah.
So everything has definitely changed. But thank you very much. I appreciated being able to sit there and listen to you.